Now they knew they needed to be there in heart and in spirit. Turn us, O God of our salvation, and cause thine anger toward us to cease. So you begin to see the prayer for revival. Turn us, O God of our salvation. Turn us. Cause thine anger toward us to cease. Wilt thou be angry with us forever? Wilt thou draw out thine anger to all generations? So again, they're making appeals. Okay, we're your people. Don't be mad at us forever. Sometimes when folks get in tiffs with each other, somebody might even ask, are you going to be mad at me forever? Are you ever going to forgive me? Is it going to be like for the rest of our lives? Let's hope not. And with the Lord, you're going to be angry with us forever? Wilt thou draw out thine anger to all generations? This is where you start claiming the verses that talk about the Lord God merciful. And you claim those verses on his mercy. And you humble yourself and remind God that, Lord, you're a merciful God, and I need your mercy now. And you better do it with an honest heart, because he knows if you're just trying to, put on. Wilt thou be angry with us forever? Wilt thou draw out thine anger to all generations? And then this leads us up to one of the very, very famous verses in Psalms. Wilt thou not revive us again, that thy people may rejoice in thee? And as I say, this is a prayer for revival, and God's people praying for that. And when the Lord's people are not in a right relationship with him, when they're not spiritually revived, there's a lack of rejoicing. And being carried away into captivity, they didn't have much rejoicing. And carried away into captivity, they were in that land of sin. And there was no song in that land of sin. The enemies would say, sing us one of the songs of Zion. They couldn't sing. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? That's what they're wondering about. And that comes, I'll get it for you here, comes a bit later in Psalm 137. By the rivers of Babylon there we sat down, yea, we wept when we remembered Zion. So that's them in captivity. Not rejoicing, but weeping. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. Why? We couldn't find it within ourselves to play music to the Lord. For there, they that carried us away captive required of us a song. They're making mock of them. And they that wasted us required of us mirth, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. But you know what? They weren't in Zion anymore. And their hearts weren't in it. They knew that for their sin, they'd been carried away captive. How shall we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? And boy, there's more to be said about that. But that's what they're going through here, or what they had been through, and what they had been through in Psalm 85. And so now it's, wilt thou not revive us again, that thy people may rejoice in thee? When your heart's in tune, you can sing for the Lord. When your heart's right with the Lord, there's a song that'll come out. And there's rejoicing. When your heart's rejoicing, it tends to produce music and singing. So the question is, wilt thou not revive us again? We want you to, Lord. Will you do that? Will you revive us? Wilt thou not revive us again, that thy people may rejoice in thee? When David got right with the Lord, he was looking for that kind of a revival, spiritually speaking. Go back to Psalm 51. Psalm 51. David wanted to get spiritually revived as well. And he prays in verse number 12, restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. He wanted it restored. Why? Because he had been in captivity in the land of sin, and he didn't have the rejoicing. And he didn't have the joy of his salvation. But he wanted it, and now he's seeking to get it back. And David would get restored, albeit it was quite a cost that he paid for his sin. But and it was quite a cost that God's people had paid for their sin and their captivity. And lives were lost in the taking of Jerusalem when Nebuchadnezzar came in and took them away. And lives sometimes lost in God's people's rebellion, in sin as well. But if you're still there, seek to get back. Seek to get back to that place. And them getting back to Zion signifies them getting back to where they are supposed to be. And now you get back to where you're supposed to be, like somebody getting right and start coming to church again. All right, start meeting you, Lord, at Bible reading time. I'll start meeting you at prayer time again daily. You're getting back there, and now you need to get your heart fully in it. Revive me. And it was a prayer, a corporate prayer, wilt thou not revive us again, which is good to pray, that thy people may rejoice in thee. But it's also a good prayer that you could pray individually when you need it. Wilt thou not revive me again, that I might rejoice in thee. And that's all we're going to have time for here in Sunday school. So we'll stop there, and we'll start with that again next time, the Lord willing.